Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode 105. Hope you guys are having an amazing summertime. I know I am. Anyway, do me a favor if you could, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. Every last one of you guys counts to making this channel the success it is. Anyway, let's get right to it.
What is your opinion on pirating software that is too expensive for $300 a month salary, e.g. bias?
Don't do it. I mean, the people who write that software need that software to sell so they can make money, so they can live and develop new software and put food on their table and have families and buy cars and stimulate the fucking economy. And the whole thing, if you don't pay for the fucking software, nothing new comes along. So, that being said, if you're getting $300 a month for a salary, I'm guessing you're a student or working part-time or something like that. That being said, I'm not saying you're up shit's creek. There is a lot of amazing VSTs out there for absolutely free. The first thing that comes to mind is the Ignite Amps guitar VST. That is fantastic. I will use that in place of commercial VSTs. It's that good. And you know, there's a lot of free impulses floating around as well. So if you got no money, that's a great way to get some great tones really quick. I might do like a free guitar VST breakdown at some point. If you guys would like to see that, let me know, because I think that would be a cool subject to explore. The same thing goes with VST effects like compressors, EQs, all that shit. I did a video called the top 5 free plugins, and check that out because there's some great stuff in there. Good luck to you, and I hope you find a job that pays better.
Glenn, you mentioned in a previous video some time ago about mixing using your car speakers. I can get that, changing the mixing environment to get a different perspective on a mix. However, where do you draw the line as far as car speakers go? Do you lose the purpose to benefit by having top-of-the-line car audio system?
Well, dude, okay, I think you kind of missed the point. It's not so much how good the system is or how not good the system is. It's about having a better listening environment, because a car has no parallel surfaces and very thin walls. Like if you're in a concrete basement or something like that, you're going to have all kinds of sound bouncing around in and out of phase. That's going to be fucking with your low end where you're not going to be able to hear it correctly. Whereas if you're in a car, the bass just leaves the vehicle, as you'll attest anybody who drives down the road listening to hip hop and has a subwoofer cranked. You know, the bass just goes everywhere in a car. The added bonus is you can hear that bass fucking clearly. So the purpose of moving your mix out into a car and finishing it there is so you can hear the bottom end correctly. Hope that cleared that up.
It doesn't matter, guitar or bass, what I bring into the studio. It's the mix engineer's job to see that it sits right in the mix. Hey Glenn, I came across this statement on a guitar forum. What do you think of that? I was looking at a discussion where some guys were claiming precision basses tend to cut through much better in the studio than jazz basses due to their mid-heavy sound. Any experience on that statement? By the way, I know you've had shit experiences with bass players. I promise, if I ever use your services, I won't be a rule number 2. Cheers.
I think the guy who wrote that's a fucking moron. That's just the paramount of arrogance of a musician. It's like you come into the studio, you hope it sounds good. You know, like I've said this I don't know how many fucking times, just because it works at your sister's birthday party doesn't mean it's going to work in a professional setting. It's my job to get the best sound possible. It's not my job to stroke your ego because you spent a lot of money on a guitar that might not work for a particular project. So that's why I have plenty of great instruments on hand in the studio. So if you bring in something that isn't quite up to snuff, we can just pull something off the rack. Here you go. Quit your bitching, play your fucking part, and let's make some music. Again, it's about being professional. But as per your jazz versus precision thing, depends on the genre, of course. One of my favorite basses is just a cheap Mexican jazz bass that's wound up on a lot of records because it's got a very growly mid-range and it's not very ping, 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 ping. It's just got a great sound, overall sound, and it works really well on a lot of different genres. So I'm definitely a jazz bass kind of guy.
Hi, your shit would probably be illegal in most countries. The sentiment expressed thereupon may be apposite, but could possibly be expressed in a more sales-friendly way. Perhaps twat, get, spammer. There is a wide variety of appropriate adjectives. A modest change that might increase sales and spread the gospel more broadly.
You, sir, can have a giant cup of shut the fuck up. Seriously, you're bitching about my rule number 2, your bass player is a useless cunt t-shirt? Seriously? Go fuck yourself. That is my number 1 selling shirt. That shirt sells all over the world. Will probably be illegal in most countries. Based on what? Your offended sensibilities? Most countries in the Western world have something called free expression. That's where we can say things other people might not like. Even the word cunt, because you obviously are one.
Does wearing a watch on your fingering hand prevent carpal tunnel?
Depends on what you're fingering. No, seriously. I really am not qualified to give that answer. That would be a question to ask a qualified medical professional or, like a sports doctor or something like that. When it comes to carpal tunnel and that sort of thing, be real fucking careful. If shit starts to hurt, don't put a watch on. Stop playing and let your muscles relax, because that's a repetitive strain injury and you can really hurt yourself that way. In the meantime, though, if you are running into a lot of issues, get a Strandberg guitar. Their necks are designed to be ergonomic and work with how your body works, and they're very comfortable to play once you learn them.
What kinds of photography do you like, Glenn?
Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler, Maxim, FHM, just basically anything with beautiful women in it. Sorry, I'm a dude. I have very simple tastes. Yes, my favorite photographers are Earl Miller and Suze Randall.
Any good $400 2x12 cabs? I'm looking for a cab to change my Marshall 1960V. It takes too much room in my apartment, and I feel like it's too muddy. Any recommendations?
Yeah, check out the Harley Benton stuff. It doesn't cost that much to ship it into North America. You can get a 2x12 loaded with vintage 30s for a couple $100. Very economical. And they're Celestians. Henning had a few. We tried them out when we were in Germany, and I should be getting a few in here later this summer, and we'll check them out for sure and put them through their paces. Definitely looking forward to it.
I don't know how Glenn can tell apart real and fake drums by sound.
It's simple. I grew up listening to real drummers, and I really miss that about a lot of records these days, is we don't hear the drummer anymore. I mean, that's when I can throw on a jazz record and, just hear a guy wailing away on a 4-piece and doing these amazing fucking fills and beats and polyrhythms and all the rest of this shit, and that just blows my mind. And then I come back onto a metal record and everything's been, sanitized and time-aligned and sample replaced, and it's like, oh, come on. Seriously, though, a lot of the records I came up on, the old Priest and Maiden stuff, Deep Purple, those guys, Cozy Powell stuff, with Black Sabbath, just fucking great drummers and just great drum sounds. And unfortunately, we don't get that much anymore. And that's really sad, in my opinion. I think we've really lost something. I think it's really sad that a lot of kids these days don't know how to tell real drums from sampled drums, because they're not used to hearing the real thing anymore.
It does strike me as odd, though. You're doing this competition for someone to win your amplifier, but you're judging entries on production, how much resources the entries had to spend, such then. Then you'll end up with a winner that doesn't really need the amplifier, who is already creating music and visit a high production level. Might be worth considering when you're going to pick someone.
You assume too much, sir. Actually, I'm making notes about production because I can make suggestions about production. It's like, oh, okay, I thought this was weak. I thought this could be a little better. Here's how to do that. That sort of thing. I'll tell you this, though. A couple of my current favorites in the whole contest don't have the best production, don't have live drums, and don't even have good videos. They're very basic stuff. But that's kind of the whole point. I want to see what somebody can do with a bad song and make it better and make it memorable. So it's not necessarily going to be the best production that wins. I've already said that. I said that right at the onset. Obviously, you weren't paying attention. So those of you guys who didn't have a huge production budget to compete for this amp, don't worry. If you sang with conviction, if you played with conviction, and you made a halfway decent video, even low budget, you've got a very good chance.
Glenn! I'm a major fan of your video series. Very interesting, vast amounts of knowledge and helpful above all. Hilarious, too. I have a question about your approach to recording songs with varying tempo. What is the preferred method of recording? Recording individual sections to the track and putting them together, or creating a click map and recording in one go? Any suggestions? I have a decent home studio with a focus on metal recordings. Thank you for your time.
Hey Mario, how's it going, dude? I only did that once where we did songs in varying sections. I was working with this hardcore punk band, and the drummer decided to go to, percussion in the music department at his university, and he did a year of that, and they came in a year later, and, all their songs were all, like 15 parts with 15 different tempos and different time signatures and all this, just because he could, and the thing was, the band couldn't play all those parts together. No. They did them all in individual sections, and then I had to put shit together. So that took a lot of fucking extra time, and it was a lot of bullshit, and that shit stopped right after that. So when bands came in, well, we've got different tempos. I'm like, great, get some tempo maps, because if you can't play it all in one go, then you can't fucking do it, and I'm not fucking recording it. Life is far too short for that bullshit, my friend.
Hey Glenn, I need your advice on kicking a retarded bassist out of my band. He just started a couple weeks ago, but me and the drummer have been playing for years now, and we even have a guitar player that's willing to play bass. I just need advice on kicking the dead weight out.
Hey Braden, do me a favor. Go get your bass player, get him in front of the phone, your phone or your computer or something like that. Okay. Hey, Braden's bass player! Hit the fucking road, pal! You can't play! You're out! You're fired! Get lost! Go home! Learn how to play. Good luck. I can have that service for your band too. That's actually a patron reward only for my Patreon subscribers. You can check it out at patreon.com/SMG.
In your experience, Glenn, is the Apex 775 anything comparable to the SM57? The Apex is half the price, too.
In my experience, any mic that says Apex on it is pretty much a guarantee it's not going to be a good mic. The only mics I've ever liked from them are their large ribbon microphones. The rest of them, I've bought a few, I've tried them out, and they're just not good. Sorry to disappoint, man. Maybe the Tome and T-Bone stuff might be a little bit more up your alley.
Picture directing is apparently replacing art. A large portion of the video advertising things and a recommendation the game. Jesus Christ!
Okay, first off, Jesus Christ isn't real. Secondly, yes, pitch correction is replacing art. You know, here's the thing, man. Last summer, I went to Paris and I went to the Louvre, and I looked for their paint by numbers section. They didn't have one. Figure that out for 1 fucking second, okay? You know why that is? Because when you paint by numbers, it's not fucking art. So when you sing with pitch correction, that's not fucking art. You don't go see a symphony orchestra to see a guy with his laptop going tap, 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 okay? Yes, art is made by fucking people, okay? And pitch correction destroys art. I can't say it any more clear than that. If you don't understand that or you're incapable of comprehending that, just quit music now. And as for the game, see my comment in the last video. Boy, a lot of guys got their panties in a twist about the game now, didn't they? Sounds like they need to get laid more.
How do I even begin learning about mixing and such? The only knowledge I have of it is public opinion on what's good equipment and what's not so good. If I'm being honest, I don't even know what most of the equipment does. For example, what the hell is a preamp? I really want to start audio engineering as a hobby, but I have no clue how to start.
And that, you know what, that's a fantastic question because we're all new at one point. There's no problem in asking that question. When I started out too, I didn't know what the fuck a preamp was. I didn't know what half this shit is. It's just, you got to put time in and learn. That being said, I've done a bunch of tutorials and I know how you guys like how I can cut through the shit and just get to the point. One thing I'm going to be working on this summer is I'm going to be doing a beginner level course for recording where I lay out exactly what mics do, preamps, how a compressor works, how EQs work, the different types of microphones, recording, interfaces, all that shit. Lay it out. So if you know nothing, you will definitely learn something. It's going to be an hour or two long course and it's going to be available on the Pro Mix Academy website. I will keep you guys informed, but like I said, it's going to be a non-yelling, very informative video and would be a great gift for anybody who wants to learn the basics of recording. All right, that's it for our show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hitting that like button and thanks for subscribing, guys. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.